What's going on, guys? Welcome to something else that's completely new. So this is going to be a review of I guess we would say it's a movie, the Burn the Witch movie. With me, as always, I have Blue Spade. Yeah, like I was gonna say it was a movie, but for some reason Crunchyroll released it in like 3 separate episodes, and they edited it to like kind of play out like 3 different episodes of, I guess, like an OVA or something. But from my understanding, it's supposed to be a movie, so I'm not exactly sure. That I know they did this with like, the only other movie I know they did this with was the Cavalry of the Iron Fortress movie, which was also edited into like 3 separate episodes and put out on Netflix. Which I don't know why they did that either. It doesn't make any sense, as opposed to like just putting out the whole movie. So yeah, this movie seemed to have gotten the same treatment.
Yeah, like for me, like this is my very first time watching or hearing about Burn the Witch. I mean, I didn't actually know about this whole story like until like they announced it alongside the brand new upcoming season for Bleach that's coming out next year. So like I've been been a little bit anticipated about how the story was going to play out, and I was a bit impressed in how the animation turned out. However, the story is kind of threw me in like in certain areas, which I don't know, it just felt rushed to me.
Yeah, I heard about the manga after not too long, I think, after Kubo finished up with Bleach, that he was doing a one-shot manga called Burn the Witch, which I guess after he did the one-shot, he turned into a serialized manga. So that's the only way in which I knew about it before the anime for it was announced, but I didn't really know anything else about it. So yeah, it's not really any secret that, yeah, this is, because I knew about this beforehand, but yeah, this is connected to, this is technically in the Bleach universe. So that's kind of got me hyped for it, because I know pretty much everybody who's excited for the Bleach anime to come back is just pretty much starved for Bleach content at this point, even the people that read the manga, because, the Bleach manga is over. So they were probably interested in checking this out because of his connection to Bleach. I mean, like, yeah, in terms of my general overall feelings of the movie, like, animation and art are really, really good. Like, I hadn't really seen anything else by this animation studio until I watched this movie, but I was pretty impressed. Like, I didn't really have any issues with the way the animation looked and the art style in particular. I thought everything looked great, but the only issue, like, I had with it is that the story, like, I liked some of the characters, like,
Noelle,
Nina and Noelle. Like, yeah, I liked their characters. I thought they had good chemistry and they were interesting, but I felt like we didn't really, like, there's a lot we still didn't know about them and their relationship. Like, we kind of, like, it just feels like you get tossed into the middle of this story, and you're not really, it felt like we got, like, thrown into the middle of, like, an anime, like, mid-season or something. That's the way it felt like when I was watching it, because there are some things they explain, and then there are some things that there's a lot that, like the world building in particular and character relationships that just don't really get fleshed out that much. Like, we do get some exposition as to, like, the dragons and all this other stuff, but there's still, like, a lot of things about, like, reverse London that we don't really get a lot of information on. And also just these different character relationships and how they work. Like, there's this one guy called Balgo, and, like, he's my least favorite character in this movie, just because he's kind of played as, like, a sort of just a clown. Like, he's pretty much just a joke character, because he's just always doing something stupid and getting himself into trouble. But, like, we don't really get to know much of anything about him aside from just that his whole character is kind of just a running joke, it seems, or he just gets himself into trouble and the girls always have to save him. And he ends up kind of being like the, like kind of tying into the main plot of this movie, I guess, because for some reason they're trying to go after him and they're trying to eliminate him.
You mean the Western branch?
Yeah.
So like, apparently, like, okay, so the organization that Noelle and Nini work for is the Western branch of the Soul Society, which which took me by surprise because
it doesn't get revealed until like the end of the movie.
Yeah. They don't reveal it, but it took me by surprise that this is also a different version of the Soul Society compared to like, the Eastern branch, in which you would normally see in Bleach. But
yeah, and also like as opposed to hollows, we get dragons.
Yeah, the movie just vaguely explains like how that universe particularly works, but I just felt like there was a lot like of differences, to this branch compared to like the Eastern branch, just how vastly different like on how those two branches work, or whether or not they acknowledge they even know each other.
I was trying to like, another thing is like I was trying to get a grasp on is like who technically were supposed to be the bad guys in the movie too, like because there was that one group that were going after Valgo, but I think they were still associated with like the Soul Society, so I'm not exactly sure. I guess you could say that the bad guys are like some of the dragons that they have to eliminate, but that wasn't exactly clear in the movie.
I mean, you could say, well, this was done something similarly when Ichigo went up against the Soul Society when they were trying to execute Rukia during the Soul Society arc. So
yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah. I guess you could compare that.
Yeah,
like it's a little bit like.
However, this situation that Valgo apparently has gotten himself into is a little bit vague and unexplained at several points, because like I think Noel and Nini mentioned that because I guess he's harboring a dragon, which is I guess the dog he carries around, which just has dragon wings or something like that. And then because he's carrying it around, that he's subject to termination or imprisonment for about a century or something like that. That's what they said.
Yeah, apparently they do explain that it's like a crime to harbor a dragon or trying to like have like a dragon as a pet or something like that. Because one of the characters later on, we've discovered that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Because one of the dragons somehow got into the real London, and she started taking care of it before she ended up in reverse London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this other character you mentioned, I think her name is Macie. So yeah, she did find and befriend a baby dragon. However, like just like Bleach, like she's the only person who can really see the dragon and nobody else. So it's
yeah,
and it's not clear, like also not clear if it's something has to do with like spiritual energy, or if it's something that's exclusive to this this part of the branch of the Soul Society, or wherever she's living at. Because
I know they like explain later, like her and like Balgo came into contact with her, and like I don't know if that had anything to do with it, because like he gave her like some umbrella or something. I forget exactly what that was about.
Yeah. It just never gets fully explained as to what really happened. It's just like I said, the movie it just throws you into like if it was like in the middle of a season or something like that.
Yeah, because there's also like this backstory with Nini
and Macie.
Nini like being a part of, like she's some celebrity or something. I don't know if was she supposed to be like a musician, or what was she? Because like I was trying to like, I don't know if they explained that.
I don't think they really specify what occupation she has.
Yeah, because there is some like history between her and Macie that they kind of go into, and like as they go into like Macie, like her being insecure or something like that, and I kind of followed what was happening, but at the same time I was like, I feel like there's like so much missing context for like for her backstory that I just didn't understand what exactly she was going through. So I don't know, like like they kind of explained it, but there's still like, it feels like there's so much missing to where I couldn't really completely make sense of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course we do get introduced to another major character in this well, in this movie, his name is Bruno Bangknife. He almost
This guy is basically Grimjow, and like I was pretty sure.
Yeah, because he wears a mask that has like the skull jaw, whatever that thing.
The
is.
same kind of character design too. Like his face looks similar. His like hairstyle, like he's pretty much he's more or less Grimjow. Like there's some other characters too that like I felt like were heavily inspired by characters from Bleach. That you might notice if you look at some of the side characters. I was like, yeah, that looks like it's similar to another character I've seen in Bleach.
Yeah, and I think, what was his name? I think it's the guy who owns that little shop and with the cap.
The guy that smokes, or the
the guy that's I think he smokes.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few different characters that I thought like looked similar. One of the characters, there's this one guy with like a beard, like they look like I think his name's Watch from Bleach, from the 1,000-Year Blood War.
Yeah, that's I think that's him, but it's hard. It's been a while since I watched Bleach, so I can't remember most of this stuff, so forgive me for that. But yeah, overall, like the story itself, it's just straightforward. They're Noelle and Nini are just basically witches that work for the Western branch of the Soul Society, and their mission is to hunt down these dragons. And the reason why they do this is to gain, I guess, achievement points and get some form of monetary compensation for it as well.
Yeah, that's basically what I took away from it. But yeah, basically they're trying to protect, like they kind of establish that in the beginning of the movie, and then it moves into this whole plot where they're trying to protect Balgo because he's being hunted, and then it goes into Macie and what happened with her once she gets reunited with Nini, and then you find out like about her taking care of the dragon, and then the dragon begins to evolve into something called what's it called, like a merch something. I forget what they're called.
I can't pronounce that.
Basically, it's some it's like there are only like a certain number of them that exist, and I think this one is Cinderella, because I guess they're named after like fairy tales.
Yeah.
And it basically, what this thing can do is that it can spread its wings, and when it does that, it releases these miniature bombs that it can blow everything up, apparently. So basically the whole Bang Knife hunting down Balgo, kind of, he forgets about Balgo, and then he joins up with the witches to take down the dragon. So that basically the climax of the movie is them trying to defeat this dragon, and they pretty much they try to, but they end up not really being able to take it down. And the person that lands the finishing blow is that one guy who I don't remember his name, but he's the one. I think so. Yeah, he apparently he just shoots it down, and I didn't really expect that. That kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, as apparently he's just this really powerful, he's powerful enough to just shoot it with his finger, and he took it down that way. So I didn't expect that to happen, but yeah.
I mean, one thing that happened during that fight is Balgo summoning this magical sword out of nowhere, but he doesn't.
I didn't know what that was about. Like, I don't really understand this character. Like, he just somehow magically gets this sword out of nowhere. Like, I was like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, but we don't see him use it though. That's the thing. No. And I mean, pretty much by the end of this movie, I guess Noelle, Nini, Balgo, and Macie are going to be working together now to, I guess, to continue their mission to hunt down these legendary dragons in some way. And then of course Bruno decides to puts in a report to call off the arrest or termination of Balgo just because they want to investigate him and even further because of his interaction with Macie prior to this.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just yeah, then we have a weird scene too where like cuz it's kind of like this running joke that Balgo is just kind of this pathetic guy, and he's always like kind of, you know, he's obviously he has a crush on I think Noelle, I guess. And there's a scene where like Noelle just comes up and hugs him randomly, and I just didn't understand why. Like I didn't know what that was about. It comes out of nowhere, and he's surprised by it, and we don't get any like explanation for why. Because I was like, when did he do anything to like there was no build up to that. It just happens, and I was a little bit confused by it. I was like, why is this happening? And then I guess it's just this running joke where Balgo's dog, I guess it can talk or something.
I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
Yeah, like it's always like saying like, I want to see your panties. I guess he's talking to Noelle. So that pisses Noelle off enough to like for where she chases it down. And then of course before that we see that it's revealed that they're in the Western branch of the Soul Society.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much where the movie ends. It seemed like they were implying that this, you know, there might be some continuation of this considering how the movie ends, but I feel like this definitely should have been like a longer movie, or it should have been maybe like an OVA series or something, because it felt like it just felt like there were so many things that were being rushed, so many different plot details.
It's more. I think this is more of a pilot episode, if anything.
That's how it felt, because it feels like there's so much we're like being left in the dark on in terms of different plot points.
I mean, if anything, I think there possibly might be like a proper animated series for this coming up, probably after like whenever they finish up their final animated arc of the 1,000-Year Blood arc for Bleach that's coming up next year. So it's possible once they finish that up, they might make a proper like animated series for Burn the Witch, and possibly give us like more clarity about of what the Western branch of the Soul Society is, who Noel and Nini are, and of course everyone else. Give them proper character development, and you know where they really came from, or how they even joined the Western branch of the Soul Society in the first place.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say the positives for me about this movie are the animation, the art, the characters to some extent, because I did like Noelle and Nidhi, but I also liked Bruno. I found like we didn't really get a lot about Macie, so like don't really have much of an opinion on her. But I really didn't care for I did not care for
Balgo.
Balgo, yeah. Because he just kind of is a clown in this movie, and like there's nothing really. He's just kind of a pathetic character, and he doesn't really have much to him as a character. So I just, I don't know. I found him to be kind of annoying.
I mean, they could be hinting at something, you know, that he has like this innate ability to do something, but we have yet to see that.
Yeah, because they treated him as being really important, and I was like wondering why. You know, like it's just. I don't know, maybe if they ever do a series they'll expand upon that, and maybe in the manga that's kind of expanded upon more, because at this movie it's just sort of like, I'm just like, why is this guy such a big deal? Like, or like, why are they treating him like he's just, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I liked the ideas of some of the concepts, and the character interactions and the characters, and the story had potential, but I just feel like it was overall a bit of a mess. So just because of that, I feel like, I guess in terms of a number grade, I feel like I'd have to give it a 6, just because I wanted to give it a 7, but then I had to think more about the plot, and I was just like, yeah, I couldn't really follow a lot of it. So I mean, that's kind of a big problem too. So I mean, like, you know, the characters were good, and I just and just knowing that this was connected to Bleach kind of got, you know, I I will say I was a little bit biased because that kind of got my nostalgia going, but yeah, I mean, just kind of ignoring that part, at least, like, yeah, I would have to say this as a standalone thing is kind of average at best, even though it does have really good art and animation.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, I really wish there could have been more added to this movie. Like I said, just give more context about the world building, and give Noelle and Nini some proper character development of where they came from and how they ended up joining the Soul Society in the first place. Not to mention, like, give more clarity of, like, about how the Soul Society can exist in this part of the world compared to, like, the Soul Society that we normally saw in the original Bleach series.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing if they ever do a series, they'll probably expand on that. But yeah, with the movie, just felt like they were trying to rush everything to where it was, like, really hard to follow half of what was happening.
Yeah. From what I hear, like, the manga. Okay, they said. Okay, so Tita Kubo made a one-shot manga, like, I think sometime in July of 2018. But then I guess it gained popularity, so I guess it started a proper a manga series starting in, well, I would say actually 2 months ago. Yeah. No, it's like a little over a month ago. So I don't know, and there's only like one volume.
Yeah, so there probably won't be an anime adaptation anytime soon. I would assume until the manga's farther along.
Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah, more than likely once, depending on how many volumes they release, like during the time when the final season of Bleach comes out. We can't be sure, like, whether or not that there will be a proper continuation, or if the next animated series is just going to be its original thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope that it does turn into a series, because I mean, like, I do want to see more. Like, I was intrigued by what I saw in the movie, and I just kind of was left wanting more. Like, that's kind of how I felt after I saw it.
Yeah. I felt like this is more of a taste, to hype up people who are anticipating the final season of Bleach that's coming up. So
yeah, I mean, it works in that way too, because it's like I said, it's we kind of get something to hold us over until Bleach comes out, probably sometime next year. I think.
Yeah. Well, one clever thing that I did see at the end of the episode is, I didn't really notice this, but they arranged the letters in a way that you can really see, like, the Bleach title on there.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until he pointed it out to me, actually. I mean, that's actually pretty clever. But yeah, I guess that's something to hype Bleach fans up even more. I also have to wonder, like, I'm guessing Studio Pierrot is going to come back for the final Bleach season, considering they worked on all the other Bleach seasons. But I really, a part of me, like, kind of wants this studio to handle it, just because of how good the art and animation was for this.
Yeah, it's called.
It's just a shame that probably won't happen, though. I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I think the studio that worked on this is called Studio Colorado or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like they've done a lot of other movies. Not really a lot of, like, anime series, just different movies.
Yeah, like one other movie I can point out is called A Whisker Away, which is, if people don't know that, it's actually a movie that's already on Netflix. So it's, if people haven't seen it, I definitely recommend watching that. But yeah, Burn the Witch, like, yeah, I mean, it definitely has, like, a lot of the art style you would see back. I mean, you wouldn't really even know this is, like, this is from the old studio, because the art and animation style just looks so similar to each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's done by Kubo, so you'll definitely, like, if you're familiar with his art style, you'll probably notice that. But yeah, it's good to see his art style with really good animation too, because I'm not to say the Bleach series didn't have decent animation at times, but I think this is definitely a huge step up.
Yeah,
in comparison to
that. I mean, well, as for what it is, I did enjoy it, but it just left me wanting more than what was already here. So I mean, hopefully, if, like, well, I mean, this got me a little bit anticipated for the upcoming season of Bleach, that hopefully by I guess they said it was going to be next year. I don't know when, though. But
yeah, they'll probably give us more information. Probably not too long after, probably at the beginning of next year, if I could guess.
But yeah, it's all right for what it is. I mean, I really wish there could have been a little bit more of this. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's like you said, it's a 6 out of 10 in a way. Like the animation style is good, but I really felt like they should have done a little bit better with the whole world building and character development, because they just threw in so many different things all at once that it got confusing at times.
Yeah, that's just the major negative with it. Like, it looks great and interesting characters and some interesting concepts, but just not enough world building, not enough character development, and it's kind of hard to follow at times too.
I mean, we're not saying that this movie is bad by any means. Like this has potential to be a very good series if it's properly done.
Yeah, like that's like I said, that's what I thought. It's either like the movie should have been longer, or it just should have been an anime series, which I feel like the latter is probably what's going to happen eventually, at least when the manga gets far enough along, and probably when the final season of Bleach is over and people are left kind of empty because Bleach is now over, that they maybe want more from Kubo. Maybe that's when we might get the announcement of a Burn the Witch anime series. But yeah, don't really have too much else to say about this. It was I did have some fairly high expectations, just considering this is Kubo, and I already knew about the Bleach connection going in. But I won't say I was disappointed, because I did really like certain things about it. But some other things were just kind of I was kind of just I guess like a little bit underwhelmed by. But for the most part, it was decent. I would say, like, if you're a fan of Bleach, or even if you're not, it's worth the watch. It's because I say even if you're not, because it is different enough from Bleach. Like, it's not. It has. I mean, it does have some similar concepts and some similar character. Obviously similar character designs, but it does have a lot of differences. So I would say it's definitely worth checking out regardless. I don't know if you have anything else to say, though.
I mean, hopefully, like I said, I hope they do more of this. But but from where I guess from where they are, like for source material wise, they're still not that far ahead right now, considering they just literally started a proper manga series. I think, what was it, late August? So it's like it's gonna take a while for them to do a proper series, unless they're gonna just like make this like an anime original series instead.
Yeah, which I really would rather than I'd really rather them get further in the manga before they decide to do an anime. This is just because I rather would avoid them doing like an anime original thing. But yeah, so let me know let us know what you guys thought of this movie. I guess that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.